I always believed that the biggest moments in life arrive with a sound, the soft click of a door opening, the sudden chime of a phone message, the quiet beat of a heart that knows something is about to change. But nothing prepared me for the moment my son sat down in front of me that evening. There was something different about him, something quiet and settled and strangely mature, as if he had lived an entire lifetime in just one afternoon. I remember looking at him and thinking he looked older somehow, not in the lines of his face, but in the weight of his silence. He kept glancing toward the hallway, waiting for someone else to join us. And then she walked in, my daughter-in-law, the girl who always brought sunshine with her laughter. Today, though, her steps were soft and her smile was gentle, like someone who had just returned from a journey that changed her forever. She sat down beside him. They looked at each other and shared a smile that made my heart tighten. I knew then that whatever they were about to say was something they had agreed on long before walking through my door. She took a breath. Her voice was calm, soft, steady in a way that made the moment feel even more unreal. She said, "We got married yesterday." Just like that. No build-up, no pause, no dramatic reveal. Just a sentence dropped into the middle of my living room like a stone falling into still water. The ripples reached my heart before my mind caught up. I felt the room tilt just a little. Married? Yesterday. Two words that didn't seem to belong together. I stared at them both, trying to read their faces, trying to read their hearts, trying to understand how such a huge moment could happen without me, without any of us, without the families that raised them, shaped them, and loved them through every storm. I asked, when? She said it again with the same soft tone. Yesterday. It sounded almost peaceful, like she was describing a quiet walk in the park. But inside me, the question kept echoing louder and louder. Why? Why wasn't I there? Why wasn't anyone there? Why had this day, the day I imagined for years, slipped past me without a whisper? I remember nodding slowly. My voice felt far away. I said, "Really?" And she smiled, with that delicate, careful smile people give you when they know the truth might sting. She explained that they wanted something simple, something quiet, something intimate. They wanted a moment that felt like theirs and only theirs. They didn't want pressure or expectations or the noise that comes from planning something big. They wanted to breathe and choose each other without the world watching. I listened. I tried to understand, but every word she spoke added one more layer to a feeling I didn't want to face, that somewhere along the way they had made a choice that did not include me. My son reached over and held her hand, their fingers intertwined like two pieces of a puzzle that always belonged together. His eyes met mine and he said, "I hope you're not upset." The honesty in his voice broke something inside me, because I wasn't angry. I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't hurt in the way anger hurts. It was something deeper, something quieter, something harder to explain. It was grief, not for their marriage, but for the moment I lost, the moment I never got to witness, the moment every parent imagines from the day their child is born. I imagined standing in a place filled with flowers and music. I imagined seeing him look at her as she walked toward him with love shining in his eyes. I imagined wiping my own tears and pretending I wasn't crying. I imagined clapping as they exchanged rings. I imagined hugging them while everyone cheered around us. But instead, I got a sentence. A gentle, soft sentence spoken in my living room long after it was done. But I kept smiling. I kept nodding. I kept breathing even though every breath felt heavy, because love is complicated, and parenting is even more complicated. We want to be part of every step of their journey, but sometimes they walk paths we didn't know existed. They kept explaining how peaceful it was, how the morning sky looked pale gold, how the air felt clean, how they felt completely sure of each other. They described details with such warmth that I could almost picture it. My daughter-in-law said she wore a simple dress she already owned. My son said he wore the shirt she liked the most. They laughed softly, remembering it. They looked like two people who found their home in each other. And I felt that old, familiar warmth of pride. My son had chosen someone good, someone gentle, someone who cared for him deeply. And she had chosen him, a boy I raised with trembling hands and hopeful prayers. But the warmth was mixed with the ache, a quiet ache that sat in my chest like an unanswered question. She reached out and held my hand. Her eyes were full of kindness. She said, "We want to celebrate with you. We want to do something together. We just wanted the moment to be ours first." And I understood. I didn't like it, but I understood. People talk about parents giving their children wings. They talk about letting go, about watching them build lives beyond the walls where they grew up. It sounds beautiful in books and speeches, but no one talks about the moment your child actually takes that first step without you. No one talks about this thing of realizing they are grown enough to choose things you didn't choose with them. No one talks about the way your heart breaks a little, even when you're proud of them. I took a deep breath and told them I was happy for them. And I meant it. Even through the ache, I meant it. Because love is bigger than the moments we lose, and family is stronger than the choices we don't understand. I watched them sit together, shoulders touching, hearts settled. They glowed with a quiet joy that filled the room slowly, like sunlight creeping through curtains. They looked like two people ready for the world. And in that moment, I realized something important. The wedding wasn't the beginning, it was just a mark along the journey they were already walking. A journey they had been on long before yesterday. I leaned back and listened to them tell the story of their day. How they had breakfast together, how they laughed over something silly, how they almost forgot the paperwork, how they held hands on the way there because everything felt unreal, how they looked at each other when the moment came and felt the world go silent, how they left feeling like something inside them had shifted forever. Every detail felt like a small gift, a way of letting me into a moment I wasn't part of. And slowly, the ache softened. Not gone, but softer, because hearing their story was better than losing it completely. Later, they stood up to leave. My daughter-in-law hugged me. My son hugged me tighter than usual. He whispered, "I hope you know we love you." And I believed him. Even though my heart still felt bruised, after they left, I sat alone in the quiet. I looked at the empty space where they had been, and I let myself feel everything I had held back. The sadness, the joy, the confusion, the pride, the ache, the love, all tangled together like threads of a story I didn't fully understand yet. I remembered the day my son was born, the way he grabbed my finger with his tiny hand, the way I promised myself I would always be there for him. I realized that promise wasn't broken. It just changed shape. He didn't walk away from me. He just walked toward his future. And sometimes that future doesn't wait for us to catch up. The next morning, I woke up feeling different. A little lighter, a little more ready to accept the new chapter. I decided that love means showing up even when we weren't invited the first time. It means choosing happiness for them, even when it costs a piece of our own. It means understanding that their story does not erase us, it simply grows beyond us. I called them and told them I wanted to take them out to dinner. I told them I wanted to celebrate with them in my own way. They were over the moon. My daughter-in-law sounded like she might cry. My son kept saying, "Thank you." And in their voices, I heard something that eased every part of me. Gratitude, relief, love. At dinner, they couldn't stop smiling. They kept telling me stories from their day. They laughed and teased each other. They held hands under the table. They looked like two people who made the right choice. And as I watched them, something inside me finally settled. A peace, acceptance, joy. Because maybe I missed the wedding, but I didn't miss the marriage. And the marriage was what truly mattered. I looked at them and said, "I am happy for you." And this time, the words felt whole, real, full of warmth that reached all the way through me. Later, when we hugged goodbye, I held them both a little longer. My daughter-in-law whispered, "Thank you for understanding." My son whispered, "I love you." And I felt tears gather in my eyes. They walked away, hand in hand, two souls beginning a new life. And I stood there watching them, knowing that even if I wasn't there yesterday, I was here today. I would be here tomorrow. I would be in every chapter they allowed me to enter. And maybe that was enough.